Hey people from Bonizone, it's me, Lucas, and today it's in English. We're gonna talk about American football in English, and I have my guest, the best guest. By the way, we're starting something beautiful. The new chapter of Frank and Bonnie exchange about American football, and this guy next to me, how can I introduce you? I call him the GOAT. I love him. He's almost the mayor of Pittsburgh. He's black and yellow heart of steel, Pittsburgh fan, one of the best storytellers in the world about American football. He's a how can I say, not bestseller, but you are TikTok bestseller, speaker worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, my guy, my GOAT, Frank Michael Smith. Hello, buddy. How are you?
Wow, that was too generous. Thank you. This is Frank and Bonnie, Chapter 1. I'm excited, man. Let's do this thing. I want to talk NFL. I want to talk international football. I want to talk week by week. Let's do this thing.
Oh, man, it's amazing. Thank you so much. And congratulations. I saw you conquer the world, man. You are in Monaco this year. You were talking about creativity and storytelling about your content. So congratulations, man. Your content's rock. And I know not just for enthusiastic people, but the players consume your content, right?
Quite often. I posted a video yesterday about NFL goaltending. I think you saw that one. And I had an ex-NFL player, Cassius Marsh, comment on that one. So, yeah, I got some players that follow and comment.
Oh, man, but it's amazing. What I like most about your content is because you bring the culture of football in accessible way, It's not nerd content, but it's a content that everybody can understand and can get inside, this culture of football. And this is why, you rock here in Brazil, but in your video about the game last year, right? This was so fun and was very hyped here in Brazil.
Well, I had to make that video the last 2 years, unfortunately, because we have these players coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm not going to leave my hotel room. I'm going to bring my Xbox. And it's too dangerous to be in Brazil." People may not know this, but I go to Brazil every year because my wife is a Paulista. So I have family there. I've been to Brazil many times. I'm there. I've been it. I've experienced it. I haven't experienced the NFL in Brazil yet. I have to get that next year in Rio. But I've been many times, so it was sad for me to hear these things. So I had to make the video talking about, just how ridiculous this is. I mean, think about it. We just had a player get mugged in Dublin, Skylar Thompson for the Steelers. No one talked about how dangerous Dublin was going to be. We had Mark Sanchez get into an accident, an altercation in Indianapolis. No one got knifed in the São Paulo game. So it's just a little ridiculous for me. So I made a video 2 years in a row now about this.
Yeah, man, this is fun, because I think the players are very briefed about, stay in hotel okay, I understand. I totally understand this, but I think it was fun because this year I was covering the game, about I was more closer this year than the last, but this year I was in the press conference about the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the schedule was pretty crazy, right? The Chiefs arrived here in São Paulo on Wednesday. They practiced on Tuesday. The game was on Friday, and they leave the game the game direct to the airport, and they were in Kansas City on Saturday morning. So, okay, I understand, but there's no need like this. When I look for the schedule for the Broncos, when they play this week in London, they made the game in the Steelers. They made the game with the Eagles in Sunday. They went. I saw on Instagram in the Twitter. They go to the hotel on Sunday night, and then they go to London, and they spend all the week in London.
I know. It's so unnecessary. There's so many things to love about Brazil, and it's sad they don't experience it. Hopefully that changes next year in Rio. I really hope so.
By the way, what about the Frank and Bonnie headquarters in Rio?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Content house.
I'm how can I say? I'm saving money. Because let's take an hotel, man. Let's take a big headquarters.
Maybe so this is my history before I even met my wife in 2014, 2015. I studied in Rio for 5 weeks in college, and I lived in an apartment in Leblon. So we can go there. We can go to my old apartment in Leblon. How about that?
You are, you were local, man. You were local, guys. You went. What's a month? What's last year you went here? What's a month that you were here? At the beginning of the season? What's the middle of the season?
When I was in Brazil, it was the end of the season because I remember because the Steelers were on a losing streak. I'm a Steelers fan.
You give me this. This was so beautiful, right? This was so beautiful. This jersey, a lot of love, and I think you drink some beers, and I fully respect because I drink too. But you're right. Here's something pretty beautiful. Russell Wilson is Steelers Super Bowl champion. Oh man, how many things changed? Right? Uh-huh.
You asked me when I was there. We were hot before that. So we needed to beat the Ravens in that game that we watched to win the division. Yeah. Of course, we lost. And then, the shirt looked pretty ridiculous afterwards. But you know what? That was a beautiful time. I got the hat that you gave me too right up there.
I will talk. Let's talk about again. I have to talk about international pathway with you, but I have to start talking about the Steelers, man. Because every time that I watch a game right now for the Steelers, I remember you. Remember when we talk about the beginning of that thing of Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers? You were a little bit concerned. Aaron Rodgers is a very, how can I say, virtuous guy. He's not easy. If you look for the Netflix documentary about him, okay, this guy's not easy. He's so talented, but again, the things was not going good for him in the Jets. But I think the Jets is the real problem. But right now, man, the division is all yours, man. It's all. I think you're happy.
Oh, how can you not be? I mean, 4-1, we're first in the division, we're second in the AFC, could be outright second depending on what Buffalo does tonight. But look, you asked about Aaron Rodgers. Here was my Aaron Rodgers take before. He is difficult to deal with. He's a bit selfish. And he was not, the player that he used to be. And you know what? He was never a bad teammate, but he was very, very difficult to coach. He did not get along with his coaches. And his body language was always very bad on the field too, shrugging and blaming his teammates sometimes. So there was that, even though his teammates liked him. However, I think this is an important lesson for everyone who does takes. Maybe even if you don't do takes professionally, even if you just have opinions and you're an NFL fan, you have to be willing to change given the new information. You cannot be married to any of these takes. So when he came to the Steelers, I said, you know what? I've been very critical of Aaron, but I'm going to give him a chance. I watched his documentary. He ended his documentary by saying, you know what? Maybe I am enough as a person just being a football player. Maybe that is okay. And he seemed to be at peace with himself. So, you know what? I said, all right, let me give him a chance here. Because I read all the local Pittsburgh stuff. I don't read all the local New York stuff. I don't read all the local Green Bay stuff. So I'll be close to it this time, and I'll really get to know, what we're dealing with here. Maybe he has changed, or maybe this is just who he has been all along. I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. Aaron has been nothing but a good teammate. He has not been condescending or sly or giving backhanded compliments to the media. Nothing like this. He's been respectful. He's been helpful to younger players like Will Howard, like Mason Rudolph. All the teammates seem to like him. And you know what? He's winning. That is most important, okay? So will this change if the Steelers go on a losing streak? Will he start acting selfish and difficult? Maybe, but we haven't found out yet. We're not losing. So far, so good. I have nothing bad to say. The guy's been great.
But do you think there's the reason that is going so well, the relationship in the Steelers, is because Mike Tomlin? Because, I always thought that even in the Packers, he has a difficult relationship with I forgot the name, the Mike McCarthy. I think was a little bit difficult sometimes. In the Jets was not so good. But I think that sometimes when you play the game, I do believe that, I play rugby. So there are players and coaches that I look to the side and say, oh, I really would love to play with him, or I really would love to be coached by him, I do believe this is the kind of thing that happened to Aaron Rodgers, because I don't know, but I have some feelings that he respects a lot Mike Tomlin. Don't you think?
I do think so. I don't like Mike Tomlin very much. I'm calling as a Steelers fan. I want him to succeed. I'm not rooting against him. But Mike Tomlin has been mostly antiquated in his approach for the last 10 years or so. So there's not a lot of data that says, Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing. But that's not the question you asked. You asked if there's a lot of respect there between Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. And the answer seems to be yes. What I believe is true is as you get older and as you progress and build a resume in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers has one of the best resumes of all time, despite of what you might think of him as a person. It's hard to deny that. You want to do things your way. So I think a lot of that respect comes from Mike Tomlin saying, you know what, Aaron, we know you want to run these kind of plays. We know you want these kind of players. Maybe that's why they traded for DK Metcalf. This is something that we're going to let you do. We're going to give you a lot of control of this offense. You're an older quarterback. We're not going to ask you to hang out in the pocket and deliver and extend the play. We're going to get the ball out quickly. He likes to go. He doesn't like a lot of pre-snap motion. Ben was like that too. These guys that are really smart, they like to get back in the shotgun. They like to get a look at the defense, and they like to snap the ball. Not all this like new school stuff where you have guys running in, jet motion and snapping the ball. And, a lot of that stuff can just add confusion to the offense. They like to simple it down and try to dissect. So I think a lot of the respect comes from there. They've given Rodgers what he wants, and so far it's worked.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with you. And I have something like I have other feeling about me that I have from the Steelers is maybe it's one of the greatest futures of American football. And I totally agree with you when you talk about Mike Tomlin, because what we expected with a guy that has a lot of positive seasons, that you of course be efficient, or at least be a little bit efficient in the playoffs, when the margin of Mike Tomlin's not so good for the long time that he's on the head coach job. And I totally agree with you. I love your videos about Mike Tomlin. But when I talk about the future of football in the Steelers, it's not just Mike Tomlin. It's the guys before. So it's the ideal of football that you have on the Steelers. And I don't know. It's an old school football, right? Old school culture. I think this can and Aaron Rodgers, there's a little bit of old school guy sometimes. I don't know. He's a very virtuous guy. So I think maybe this environment was, a little bit perfect for this moment of his career, right? The Jets wasn't, but the Steelers is the right thing. I don't know. Maybe the way that he's playing, he is so respectable in the play calls. He is not being so virtuous, but he is being efficient. The running game is going good, so there's a lot of balance. When I look for the Steelers right now, I think, this is a perfect match.
Look, he's used to being in a system like this. He spent most of his career in Green Bay, and Green Bay and Pittsburgh have a lot of similarities. They're football towns. New York is not a football town. That is one of the biggest cities in the world. It's the biggest city in America. There's a lot of things to do in New York. Not everyone's really, and there's two teams. Not everyone's really focused on the Jets. You'll see when you come for the draft. Pittsburgh is all about professional football. We love it. This is our culture. This is, our festival every Sunday. When you see people tailgating in the North Shore in Pittsburgh, it is a cultural event, and it's a religious thing almost. And this is similar to Green Bay. So I do think there's some of the same passion and tradition that's just different about some of these cities. And maybe Aaron feels more comfortable in that situation.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to be with the mayor of the Pittsburgh, Frank Michael Smith, my friend. Will be fun. And of course, I told you I have a great experience in Green Bay. It was so fun. The people are so gentle, and in this draft this year, I went there, and I love it. Because I had the opportunity to be with the most enthusiastic fans about American football. Was pretty cool, and the people in Green Bay, it was, how can I say, special. Because they breathe American football. It's fun, the stadium, the capacity of the stadium is almost the size of the city. And I live in São Paulo. I live in a 10 million city with, 10 million people live in São Paulo. I go to Green Bay, it's 100. So wow.
maybe 100.
Yeah, maybe 100. I was in the Uber in Chicago, and the Uber driver told me in a kind of provocation with the Green Bay. He told, the size of the airport here in Chicago is the size of Green Bay, and I said, makes sense. But
I've never been to Green Bay, but it is tiny. I mean, there's a reason they only have one team.
Yeah, was fun, man. Was pretty fun. Nice experience. But talking about culture of football, when I went to Lambeau Field, I breathed that and I said, come on, man. There's a lot of story here, man. There is not entertainment. It's American football that I'm breathing here. So I do believe it's Steelers. It's hypothetical, but right now I'm talking with someone from Pittsburgh. I have the same imaginary, and this is why I truly believe Aaron Rodgers fits amazingly. And congratulations, man, because the division is all yours, man. The Ravens, we thought the beginning of the season could be the Super Bowl contender, and Jesus,
nope.
even the staff of the Baltimore Ravens are hurt. In the Bengals, how is the name of the movie in English? That movie from Bruce Willis. It's a broken. I don't know. He's the guy that survived in the train.
Die Hard.
No, not Die Hard. The one that nobody can kill him. He wasn't broken. There's
I don't know. I don't know if I should. I feel like I should know, but I don't know.
Man, if Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, I forgot the name, but the point is,
man, Pulp Fiction?
No, Pulp Fiction. I was saying for you, I'll put the picture here.
That's not Bruce Willis, but yeah, I don't know.
But you're good. No, good, because Pulp Fiction, Samuel Jackson, John Travolta, and Samuel Jackson. But
I was thinking
the funny fact is, Joe Burrow, man, he's how can I say, he broke every year, man. He's so talented, but he can, man. He can play the game. How can I say, 100% or not 90% healthy each year, and the team doesn't have backups. The team doesn't have defense. So, and the Browns are the Browns. The Browns, I don't understand the Browns. The Browns are age quarterbacks.
The Steelers got very lucky, is what you're saying.
Yes,
the Steelers got extremely lucky.
Extremely.
The Ravens they're going to get healthy at some point, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be soon, and it's going to be too late. So They're already 1-5. It's very hard to make the playoffs if you're 0-2. It's a lot harder if you're 1-5. So I think we can cross them off. It's not happening for them. Lamar Jackson, even if he does come back, he has a soft tissue injury, a hamstring. It's very easy to re-injure that. I almost think there's a better chance that once he does get healthy, the Ravens are like, do we really want to put him out there and risk him getting injured even further? The season's kind of over. I'm not even sure we're going to see him again. Joe Burrow is the same thing. By the time Joe Burrow gets healthy, it's going to be December. They're not going to be in it anymore. I don't think we'll see Joe Burrow again. And then you're right. The Browns are just the Browns. They're paying 8 quarterbacks right now, and only 2 or 3 of them are on the roster. And the ones that are on the roster are not very good. I just watched this whole game yesterday. Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 51 times, and he barely got over 200 yards passing. The Steelers' defense is good. It's not that good, okay? We've been diced up by a couple teams early in the season. We give up a lot of stuff over the middle of the field. His receivers didn't do a good job of helping him out. The tight ends didn't play well, and Njoku got hurt. But he did not look good either. He is not the answer. I think we're going to see Shadur pretty soon. And again, it's not going to matter. They're out of it. All 3 of these teams have almost no chance of making the playoffs. I mean, Cincy needs a miracle. They're the only one that has a chance. And they only have 2 wins. They're 2-4. So, I think it's the Steelers' division to take. We're going to host a playoff game for the first time since 2017. I think that's right. Since 2017. Yes. Been a long time. I was at that game. We played Miami, and then we played Kansas City. The Kansas City game was so ugly, by the way. We kicked 6 field goals and won that game. Ugly stuff. But that's the way it's going to be. I mean, I would be shocked if we don't win this division now. That would be an all-time collapse.
No, it's impossible. No, it's impossible. No, I'm already congratulations you. The division is yours, man. It's impossible to still lose the division, man. So congratulations.
So we have to go to the next step then. Who's the one seed in the AFC?
Yes.
Is it Indianapolis? Is it Buffalo? Is Kansas City going to make a run? Kansas City looked good last night. Is it going to be them or is it Pittsburgh? There's not really many other teams vying for it.
I think the Steelers did not be tested with a great team. You know, they won. It's good. But I think they play teams good, but not teams like, the Chiefs, like the Bills. I don't know. Like the Colts. I'm waiting for, I don't know the schedule, but I'm waiting for this kind of game, to test.
So
Aaron Rodgers. What?
Thursday night, Steelers play the Bengals on Thursday Night Football.
It's easy. Easy game. Congratulations. You won the game right now.
Not so fast. I'm a little worried. You never know with Pittsburgh. But after that, we play Green Bay. At home, it's a night game. That will be the test.
Yes, this is a good one. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't gonna lose this game for nothing, for nothing. And I do believe that the Packers, it's a good team, but not the best team. So I think the Steelers, it's a better team right now than the Packers, in my opinion. So, and I'm not saying this because I like you, man, but I do believe the Steelers are more consistent, right? So this is what I believe.
The offense just needs to be better. Right now, the offense looks a little scared. We don't throw the ball downfield much. If we're going to beat good teams, we're going to have to actually finish drives off and be a little bit more aggressive. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but you can develop these. The aggressiveness can be shown to the rest of the other games. So, man, come on. I have good feelings about your Steelers. So, first of all, congratulations. You are division champion. Congratulations. And let's go for the first pick for the AFC with the good teams like the Bills and the Chiefs, because I think
who's your pick? Who do you think is going to be the first seed?
Oh, man. I really would love to see something different, right? I really love to. The point is, I really love the underdogs. I always support the underdogs. Indianapolis will be fun. Indianapolis will be a lot of fun to be number one pick. But I never doubted about the Chiefs. Never. It's impossible to doubt the Chiefs. Even here in São Paulo, I watched the game. Was not pretty. The Chargers play very well. But when I finished the game, I thought, oh, come on, this team is good, right? This team, a little something that is not on the same page. It's a kind of mentality. For example, it's some little adjustments that change at all. For example, this last game, the Chiefs didn't have any penalties, so any faults. So unbelievable. When they play with the Jaguars, they have almost 100 yards in penalties. So when they change a little, the game changed. Patrick Mahomes playing well. So I do believe that the Chiefs are true contenders, but this year not for first pick. And I don't think I write these 2 weeks ago. I like the Bills, but I don't believe the Bills is there. Oh, this team that people are talking, right? It's all on the shoulders of Josh Allen. So I don't think right now both the Chiefs and the Bills are balanced teams. I think the Indianapolis maybe can be a better balanced team. So, and the Steelers, because the Steelers are playing old school football. So if the running game develop better, if Aaron Rodgers have a little bit more effectiveness to play the game, so can be ugly, beautiful wins for the Steelers. And the point is, let's win or let's play beautiful. I don't know.
All right, here's the follow-up question. You mentioned it's all on Josh Allen's shoulders.
Yeah.
Who else's shoulders would you want it on? Because right now, I think he's the MVP. A lot of people are going to say Baker Mayfield, maybe even Mahomes. But I know the Bills are not a perfect team. But right now, that's there's no one else I'd want in that position. Give me Josh Allen.
Yes, talking about this MVP race. Again, I'm a man of the people. The underdog. So I have to choose. The boy Baker Mayfield, man. He's playing so crazy without Mike Evans. Right now, I think he's playing a good football. But when I look projecting the future, of course, I can see Josh Allen playing well and good every week. So yes, I think it is on Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. What else? There's one more quarterback. It's hard. Okay, I think it's hard to talk about these guys, but Sam Darnold is playing very well. I think he maybe could be considered in this race. Sam Darnold, and maybe if Indiana Jones could play a little bit better. I think Daniel Jones has something to prove. The team is running. Okay, the team is going so well. The vibe is so good. It's always sunshine in Indianapolis right now. Doesn't rain in Indianapolis. Beautiful. But I think they have to be tested. But if the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't know, week 12, Chiefs and Colts, this is the game that I really want to see. If Daniel Jones could win, I don't know if I expressed right. If Daniel Jones could win this game with the Chiefs, high considerations about the future of this MVP race, because the vibe of the coach is so good, man. Don't you think?
It is. I'm still waiting for Indiana Jones, as we're calling him now. I'm still waiting. I need to see something. He's been really good. But we've seen Daniel Jones play good before. He's won a playoff game in New York. I want to. If he's still going this well by halfway through the season, I'll believe it. But I've seen some bad football out of that man, and he looks like a changed man. I just need a little bit more time. Here's another question for you though. Who is a better comeback story right now? Indiana Jones or Mac Jones?
Oh man, Mac Jones. I don't know if Mac Jones will survive to the next 4 games, man. Every game he went, when the game finished. If you look, Mac Jones, it's like do you know Rocky Balboa movie when they have no arm? Oh man, Mac Jones is man, he's a survivor, man. I respect a lot. Oh man, and about the you talk about Mac Jones, Fred Warner broken the ankle.
Very sad.
Yeah, this was sad. And the 49ers is a team that I truly respect. Everybody in the league have to respect the 49ers. Maybe Kyle Shanahan could be the coach of the year. Let's see what he will handle with this team. But it's difficult to, it's difficult. Mac Jones are playing without a lot of good pieces. It's too early, but through this moment of the season, I think the best comeback story will be for me Daniel Jones, because the pressure that he had, on what was not expectable that he was playing the game that he was playing. Because I think what makes this strong case for the Colts is the numbers, right? They are better for the time for Peyton Manning, I was some comparison about Peyton Manning time, the best Manning time in Indianapolis, and the offensive right now about the Colts. It's how can I say, inch by inch, the same level. Sure. So of course, have to wait to see what's gonna happen for the mid-season for this Indianapolis Colts. But right now, it's like a race of Usain Bolt. He's a little bit in the front. I think it's the number 1 offense in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So right now, I think the best comeback for me is Daniel Jones, but I have to respect Mac Jones because he was like Rocky Balboa, man. It's unbelievable.
That impression is good. Have you been working on that? You've been practicing that.
I have to do more, man. I have to do Frankie.
Look, I think Mac Jones is on a similar path because Daniel Jones, it didn't take one season for him. He got cut by the Giants. He signed elsewhere. Kind of sat for a year, and then he got his opportunity with another team in Indianapolis. So I think this could be Mac Jones. Purdy's going to come back. He's not really going to have all season to shine here, but he's looked good. He's looked good enough that this offseason, there's going to be a team out there where they're not so sure at quarterback, but they have a nice offensive coach. Maybe he could learn under. If he's smart, he's going to take that job. Not the job that pays him the most money. He should take the job where he has someone who's really smart and is going to let him develop in this offense, because clearly that did not happen in New England, and it is happening now in San Francisco. It's about who you're surrounded by.
Yes. I'm totally agree with you. I think what happened to Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, $10 million contract for 1 year is a good thing. And again, I think Baker Mayfield had the first season of the Buccaneers, $10 million, and the next one, 100 for 3 years, right? I think that was
you can even go back further with Baker Mayfield. He went to a bad situation in Carolina. Yeah, Darnold was there too. They were both there. Yeah, and there was no one there. It was surrounded by, imperfect pieces. We're talking about a poor infrastructure in Carolina. When's the last time they were good? Probably 2015 with Cam Newton. Been a long time. So he goes to LA for one game under a good system with Sean McVay, and he pulls off a win that changed his career. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. He was surrounded by good people, good infrastructure, good coaching that could work with him.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. I always say to my friends, it's not about have to you next to you the best guys. You have to be the right guys. And sometimes the right guys are not the best, but is the guys that put the culture and the environment in the same pace. So I think you're right, man. But right now I have some questions for you, my friend. For you said about the MVP race. You tell me that Josh Allen is your guy. Okay, I'm with you. Steelers is already the champion division. It's good. But right now for you, what the team that are most exciting you to watch? Because this season is so, how can I say, so equal. There's no team that are so much better. The teams that are going good in the next week, they lose. For example, this week we have everybody are talking about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott playing in an MVP level the next 2 games, and then, wow, Carolina won the game. Not expecting these in the way they won. So there's a team that are exciting you, or you think are in one step ahead this moment.
A team that surprised me has to be Tampa Bay. I know we already talked about Baker, but those couple wins they got, first 2 or 3 wins, they kind of squeaked by. I was not sure. I was very, excited by the way Baker looked at the end of the game. You're very confident with him having the ball, but all the stats told you that this was a team that should not have won these games, and that's the NFL. Weird things happen when the ball is shaped like an egg. The bounce can go your way, the bounce cannot go your way. Tiny little things can make the difference. And I was surprised. I said, okay, Tampa Bay got a little bit lucky, but now they go out and win this game convincingly yesterday. 30-19, they win by 11 points versus a good team. Look, I mean, no one thought they were going to be here. We thought the NFC South was going to be this really bad division that, maybe someone would win it at 9-8. And I don't know how you look at it now and say they're not one of the best teams in the NFL. Not just the NFC, the NFL. I don't know how anyone can have a different opinion. They're just, they've proved everything you want to see. Even with guys out, by the way, they're not healthy. There's backups starting all over the offense. Even, Evans has been out. Igbuka got hurt. Bucky Irvin did not play. Tristan Wirfs did not play a couple games, and they're their best offensive lineman. So they've been doing this at a fraction of their full potential. So I love it. I love what I've seen in Tampa Bay. They're the most surprising.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I have to say that I'm excited with the way that Baker Mayfield were coming with good seasons with the Buccaneers. One team that I did not expect that they are playing so good. I think they're playing good football is the Seattle Seahawks. I'm very excited the way this team is moving the ball and winning games. Maybe I don't know if you agree that maybe Sam Darnold could be one more year in the Vikings. I don't know. It's a difficult, of course, decision, but he's playing so good in Seattle this moment.
He made the right decision.
Yes.
He had to do what was best for himself, and that was signing the contract that he signed. And, all signs were pointing to things were changing in Seattle. With Pete Carroll leaving, McDonald coming in, everything was pointing in the right direction. And everyone who I think, if you really read the local stuff, everyone really kind of had an idea that JSN was going to be very, very good this season and ready to take over that number one spot. He's been even better than that. So you had to think Darnold was like, you know what, I'm going to take a bet on this guy too. I have a coaching staff that I trust. We've got a talented roster, but most importantly, I have my guy in JSN.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. It makes sense. Of course, I'm talking about the perspective of the Vikings, right? But talking about the perspective of the player, of course, Donald made a great move. But my friend, to finish, to put an end of this first chapter of Frank and Bonnie, this beautiful moment of American football in the world, probably this will be the most watched episode in the galaxy.
Right to the top.
Yeah, I truly believe people in other galaxies watch this talk with us. But I have to go back for something that for me is pretty important, and I really love to know about you. This international pathway. I'm looking for the NFL right now, and I do believe NFL understand that you can grow. Of course you can, but right now in the USA, it's you're in Pittsburgh. It's much more harder to grow your fan base in Pittsburgh. We have to be global. We have to be outside. And I think NFL is doing great this because they're the number one sports company in the world, NFL. So right now the NFL expansion is going high. This year we have game here in São Paulo in the first week. And then we have your game in Dublin. And by the way, fits pretty beautiful. The Steelers in Dublin was so good. We had the London games. We have 2 in a row last week, and we have 1 more next week. Then we're going to have the Berlin game. And to finish the season, we have the Madrid game with the Dolphins and Commanders. Rodgers already said that he believed that 18 games, 1 game for each team playing internationally. How do you saw for you? Because I think for the fans in USA, it's bad to have a foreign game, not have a game in your town. But to grow the fan base, to grow the business, the game is already global, I'm talking with someone this week. The Pittsburgh, not the Steelers, the Green Bay Packers have almost the same number of fans in Brazil than in USA. So come on, they have to be global. What do you think about these international games and the future of this strategy?
Okay, so I'll say not from a business perspective. I'll come from a fan perspective. How about that?
Yeah, good.
For the fans, I think the fans love it. American fans like it. We wake up, we have football on right away. It's on, if you're on East Coast, 9:30, something like that. It's really good. And then the game finishes, and then the next slate of games, the 1 p.m. games are on right afterwards. It's nice. It's a standalone game. You can wake up, there's football immediately. And it's really, unless you're a Jaguars fan, it's really only 1 week a season that you have to watch your team that early. And even when you do, it was fun. It was fun to watch the Steelers at 9 a.m. in Dublin. It was, like you said, it was a beautiful moment. There were so many Steeler fans in Ireland. That was cool. And the Steelers, of course, have a long history. Rooney was the ambassador to Ireland. So a fun moment all around. I don't think the fans mind at all. I think the fans actually like it. The players, however, different perspective. I think the players might be kind of annoyed by it. Certainly the people on the staff, it's very hard on them. And this is a big production. To have to do this even 1 time a year, I know is difficult for them. Logistically, very tough to pull off. However, you're right. Like the Green Bay example is interesting. I never thought about that. There's more Green Bay fans probably in São Paulo than Green Bay. So yeah. It makes all the sense in the world. You should do it. And the NFL is so smart. Like, there's a reason why, like you said, they're the biggest sports league in the world. They understand that this is going to make the league money. Even though it's difficult, it's going to make the players richer. It's going to make the teams valued higher. They're obviously they're going to do it. Now, whether they're going to expand is interesting. I don't know. You know what? They keep saying they're going to do it. They're going to put teams in Europe. I'm not so sure. I think their first step is going to be, we're going to put the Super Bowl in London. And they're going to play the Super Bowl at either Tottenham or Wembley. I think they'll do that first. And then the American fans will be a little angry. I think the American fans will be like, hey, come on. This is the National Football League. This is our Super Bowl. So you're gonna see some pushback on that. But to be honest, I think it would be fun. I've been to a game in London before. I saw Broncos Jaguars, and it was a really fun experience. And London does a great job of it, and it's an international city already. So people might get mad about it, but it'll be fine. It'll be really fun. They'll pull it off.
I'm with you, man. I have 100% sure that as soon as possible we will have a Super Bowl in London with Adele in the halftime show. It would be so cool.
That would be fun. Everyone would like that.
Yeah, I think this will be the game because London is a culture capital of in Europe, so it makes all of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. London is a right partner right now for this, and maybe in the 5 years I have expectations for that. And about the division in Europe, man, I listen about it, and makes sense too. Because it's hard to have one team. You can have a London team. It would be no sense, logistical way. But 4 teams playing in 4 capitals: Berlin, London, 2 in London, 1 in Paris. Paris would be so fun.
They should. If they're gonna do it, they should not do 2 in London. They've done such a good job. Look at the game. Like, Dublin had a great audience, and they have a big stadium they could play out there too. It should be Dublin, London, Berlin, Madrid. They're already going to all these cities, so don't put 2 in London.
Okay. 1 in São Paulo, 4 in Europe. Okay, for me, okay. But don't you think this makes sense for example, the human capital in the draft? Because you have 7 rounds. I don't know how many players. 100 and I don't know how many. 200 players. I don't know. But don't you think with one more division in Europe, don't you open more space for more talented players that are not drafted? So the how can I say, the capital economic environment of the NFL will be much more bigger, much more television rights, much more people watching NFL because the how can I say, the viewerships in these games are so good. I was watching right now. In Brazil, we have now the Global TV, the #1 TV, showing NFL games. They take the rights for this season. The Super Bowl have good viewership in the Europe right now. So, man, I do believe this is the next future for the NFL, man.
I think so too. It's going to be hard. I'm not totally convinced they're going to do that. I do think they'll have the Super Bowl in London. However, we see a lot of bad quarterbacks and a lot of quarterbacks that are injured. So it's already like, we talked about the MVPs. We talked about the good quarterbacks. We didn't talk about all the bad quarterbacks. Like, how about that Broncos Jets game? That was some bad quarterbacking. There was no offense in that game. So there's still like half the league, at least, that's struggling at that position. And the product is not great. So do you want to make it even shallower and add 4 more teams? Thin everybody out? Maybe not. So I'm not totally convinced on that. But you are right, regardless. If they did it, it would be amazing for business. There's no doubt. Would it be great for the product? Maybe not.
I like your point, man. I really love your point. Makes all of sense. But sometimes you have two quarterbacks playing bad in Carolina 2 years ago, and now we're talking about they are playing for MVP race. So I think it's the thing that you said before, man. The right place, right people. So we have to. If they had to, we'll build this NFL franchise in Europe. We have to build with the good people, right? Because without that, it's gonna be bad teams. And I agree with you, my friend. And by the way, let's start to saving money for our headquarters in Rio, because the next games will be in Rio. And of course, I will put this conversation for another video, and I open the conversation to what kind of teams we have here in Rio for next season to play in Brazil. I think will be an NFC teams. So let's see. Dallas Cowboys in Maracanã will be cool. But let's see what's gonna happen, my friend. And thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for this conversation. I really love it, and I can't wait for our next talk with Frank&Boni, man. You're the best.
Boni, eu vou falar em português por um minuto. Esse podcast é melhor. Cabra, grande. Só isso.
You're amazing, man. Come on, speak more, man. Speak more in Portuguese.
Só isso.
Você é demais. Você é demais. Vamos, agora é um minuto em português. Galera, Frank Michael Smith, o xerife de Pittsburgh. Que demais poder ter você aqui. Você já é praticamente um brasileiro, casado com uma brasileira. Você sabe falar mais coisas. I know that you know bad words in Portuguese, so it's so cool.
Eu sou estudante.
Tá perfeito.
Obrigado.
De nada. I love you. Esse cara é maravilhoso, galera. Frank Michael Smith, em português. We're gonna do a podcast all in Portuguese. Not too long. All in Portuguese.
Espero em breve.
You're good. Thank you, man. Thank you, the best, man.
You're the best. Tchau, amigo.
Cara, beijo pra você.